Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Dominique Martin, a licensed therapist, and today we're going to talk about something that quietly damages a lot of relationships but often flies under the radar: passive aggressive behavior. If you ever felt confused, dismissed, or emotionally shut out by your partner and couldn't quite explain why, maybe your partner says, "I'm fine," but their tone or behavior says otherwise. My goal by the end of this video is I'm gonna break down what passive aggressive behavior is, how it shows up, why it happens, and most importantly, how couples can address it in healthier ways. So if you're ready to start taking the steps to create the relationship you want, confirm it by tapping that like button and subscribing to this channel. All right, let's unpack it. So what is passive aggressive behavior? When it comes to relationships, passive aggressive behavior is indirect expression of anger, resentment, or unmet needs. So instead of saying, "I'm upset" or "this hurts me," the emotion is expressed indirectly through tone, behavior, or withdrawal rather than words. It is behavior that communicates resistance without accountability. Instead of being spoken openly, the emotion shows up in subtle ways that affect the relationship. It's not always intentional. In fact, many people who use passive aggression don't even realize they're doing it. But over time, it creates confusion, distance, and resentment in relationships. Although passive aggressive behaviors in relationships are not always intentional, they're almost always impactful. Passive aggressive behaviors often leaves the other partner feeling confused, dismissed, or emotionally unsafe, like they walking on eggshells. And because it's indirect, it's very easy for the partner engaging in it to downplay behaviors. When emotions aren't spoken, they still speak, just through behaviors instead of words. Passive aggression behaviors can look different for different people and situations, but there are some common signs. Passive aggression often shows up first in how we talk or don't talk to our partners. So let's start with verbal communication signs. These often sound subtle but carry emotional weight. All right, hinting at needs or complaints instead of stating them directly. An example might sound like, "Must be nice to relax," while someone else does everything. So rather than clearly expressing a need or concern, the message is implied. This creates confusion and defensiveness instead of clarity. All right, another sign is sarcasm that feels hurtful rather than playful. So it may be comments framed as jokes but meant to be a dig. Sarcasm often masks anger that feels unsafe to express directly. Another sign is denial of anger. So something like, "I'm fine," while clearly acting upset, or while the body language and tone and behavior clearly suggest otherwise. This creates confusion for the partner on the receiving end. All right, another sign is backhanded compliments, and that's statements that sound positive but contain criticism. For example, "Wow, I'm surprised you're ready on time for once, so now we won't be late." These break down confidence and trust over time. All right, another sign is venting or complaining to uninvolved people. So friends, family, or coworkers hear about the issue, but the partner involved does not. Complaining to friends, family, or coworkers while avoiding the actual conversation that needs to happen. This deepens resentment and keeps problems unresolved. These patterns may avoid direct conflict but still communicate displeasure. Passive aggression also shows up in actions, not just words. Passive aggression is just as powerful in what someone does or refuses to do. Some common behavioral patterns of passive aggressive behaviors include giving the cold shoulder or emotionally withdrawing, procrastinating on shared responsibilities, or forgetting things that matter to your partner, Also, sabotaging plans or creating unnecessary obstacles, or being rigid or inflexible without explanation, or leaving a partner out of plans or decisions, or withholding information that affects the relationship. Also, shifting blame rather than taking responsibility, or ignoring emotional or practical needs while insisting nothing is wrong. These behaviors often say, I'm upset without ever saying it out loud. These behaviors communicate resistance and resentment without requiring vulnerability. So, why does passive aggressive behavior happen? So, most passive aggressive behavior comes from an inability to manage conflict or directly express negative emotions. Many people grew up in environments where anger felt unsafe, anger wasn't allowed, or conflict wasn't safe or avoided, or expressing needs led to rejection or shame. So, instead of learning how to express negative emotions, they learn how to suppress them. Over time, those suppressed emotions don't just disappear, they turn into indirect resistance, emotional shutdown, or chronic resentment or subtle retaliation. Passive aggression is often a sign of unspoken hurt, not lack of care. Passive aggression is often the result of not having the tools to say, "This hurts." Unaddressed passive aggressive behavior can cause couples to fall into some negative relationship patterns. This is a common passive aggressive pattern in relationships. One partner avoids conflict, resentment builds, passive aggression behaviors increase. The other partner feels confused or attacked and becomes defensive or withdrawn. Neither partner feels heard or emotionally safe. Issues repeat instead of resolving. Eventually, couples stop addressing problems altogether and start emotionally disengaging. Issues never feel resolved, they just resurface in different forms. Small moments become emotionally charged, and both partners feel misunderstood and defensive. Over time, this creates emotional distance and breaks down trust. Interrupting passive aggressive requires awareness, responsibility, and practice from both partners. So let's talk about what actually helps. Recognize the pattern. Passive aggression looks different for different people. For one partner, it may be sarcasm. For another, it may be silence. So name the pattern, not the partner. Patterns only survive when both partners participate. So notice how you respond. Do you shut down? Do you get defensive? Do you over explain? Interrupting the pattern starts with awareness on both sides. Address issues as soon as possible. Don't wait. Passive aggressive behaviors thrive in delay. Passive aggression grows in silence. The longer resentment sits, the harder it is to express it clearly. So address concerns when they still feel manageable. Calm, timely conversations prevent resentment from lingering. When addressing issues, use assertive communication. Assertive don't mean aggressive. Assertive communication is clear, honest, and respectful. It sounds like, I feel hurt when this happens and I need. Assertive communication replaces resentment with clarity. I know addressing issues can sometimes be uncomfortable, but it is important to stay present during difficult conversations. So avoid distractions, multitasking, or walking away mid discussion unless you agree to return. Presence builds emotional safety. Also, while addressing issues, it's important to work together. So share solutions as a couple. This ain't about blaming or shaming, it's about understanding. So ask, what would help us handle this better next time? Solutions is a shared responsibility. Passive aggressive behavior is learned communication style that can be unlearned. When couples replace indirect resentment with direct, respectful expression, they don't just reduce conflict, they deepen trust, emotional safety, and connection. If this resonated with you, use it as an opportunity to learn and communicate differently. With awareness, honesty, and practice, couples can replace indirect resentment with direct, respectful connection. Thank you so much for joining me on this video. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more relationship tools. As always, stay motivated, and I'll see you on the next video.